Connecting you with the facts, the solutions, and your neighbors. This is 11 Connects News at 6 p.m.
11 Connects told you about the 8-year-old boy charged with arson after starting a fire at his foster home in Glade Spring in December. Home to Dan and Lana Colson and their 10 adopted kids. The child charged with arson now in state custody.
A convicted killer's confession has investigators re-examining a cold case tonight. Good evening, I'm Josh Smith. 11 Connects broke the story of Frederick Hammer's confession to murdering Julie Lovett in 2001. Johnson County Sheriff Mike Reese said Hammer gave a statement to Ashe County, North Carolina investigators about how and why he killed the 29-year-old woman. A young lady from Johnson City involved in a boating accident last summer has fought for her life and is alive today. Now, after losing a leg, she's in a new fight to regain some normalcy. And as Chris McIntosh discovered, the word quit is not in Miranda Johnson's vocabulary.
By the time I came back up to the surface, I didn't have time to move, and the prop from the boat just got me on my abdomen.
The prop also cut her hands. A quick trip to this boat dock and a quicker trip to the ER turned into 7 surgeries, 2 months in the hospital, and the loss of her hip bone and left leg. Now Miranda wants to get back to her job as a nurse. Late this afternoon, TennCare emailed me their 2 denial letters. They do include the wording that Miranda alluded to, but they also indicate that they are still gathering more information before making a final decision on Miranda's appeal.
Carter County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man wanted in North Carolina for murdering his 6-week-old son.
Colton Alice was born on November 9th and died just 6 weeks later on December 21st. Deputies say the crime occurred at this address on Kate Davis Lane. That's just outside of Newland, North Carolina.
Johnson County Sheriff's Office says it has a better understanding tonight of a possible motive in the murders of Billy Payne and Billie Jean Hayworth. Marvin Potter Jr. and Jamie Lynn Curter each charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. They're accused of killing the couple last week in front of their 6-month-old baby. Seems almost too far-fetched, a double murder triggered by something that happened on Facebook?
Well, that's what investigators think. They say leading up to the murders, friends of the victims defriended Janelle Potter on Facebook. She became angry and started harassing them. That's when the victims stepped in and defended their friends. Potter's dad found out, became upset, and took matters into his own hands. County Mayor Dan Eldridge said the county's in the midst of a synthetic drug emergency. And with that in mind, the Washington County, Tennessee attorney is drafting a public nuisance ordinance that's aimed at synthetic drugs and the businesses that sell them.
Ultimately, for all of us, the goal is to shut these businesses down. We don't want them in our community.
Mayor Dan Eldridge's wife and several other mothers are organizing. They are planning a protest at the stores that sell the currently legal synthetic drugs.
I'm at the Old Gray Station Center, and the students are protesting. They're saying that the synthetic drug problem is, quote, so out of hand, and since these drugs aren't illegal, that they're protesting to put a stop to the selling of them here in Gray.
The 20th Food City 500 is in the books. 11 Connect Sports Director Kenny Hawkins has a race recap from BMS.
After cloudy conditions moved out of the area, it was pole sitter Greg Biffle who led them to the green flag. It only took 23 laps for there to be trouble. Casey Kane felt he was clear, but found out he was not. Keselowski would again assume the point when he goes around Kenseth for the lead. From there, he would survive one more caution flag and the challenge from Kenseth and Martin Truex Jr. to win the Food City 500, his 2nd straight win at the world's fastest half-mile oval.
Thanks for choosing 11 Connects at 5. I'm Josh Smith. An investigation continues tonight into the death of a 12-year-old Greene County boy after being hit by a school bus this morning. The incident happened around 6:40 on Holder Road in Greene County. The Tennessee Highway Patrol told us 12-year-old Austin Bogard was crossing the street to board the bus when it hit him. The report also said the bus driver, 61-year-old Ronnie Whitson, watched the boy's sister sit down in his rearview mirror and then began to pull away. THP said the girl told Whitson to wait because her brother was coming, but the driver did not stop in time. Johnson City's police chief told the people responsible for breaking into his house in the middle of the night and stealing from him while he was asleep that they are very lucky he did not wake up.
I am glad that I didn't wake up while they were in the house. I'll tell them that right now.
A Bluff City minister and cable show host accused of neglecting her husband and mother while they were in her care entered a plea deal today in court. A trial for Brenda Vyers was scheduled to start this morning in Sullivan County. In February, investigators say they found Brenda Vyers' husband and mother in an apartment filled with trash, bugs, and dead mice.
Straight ahead on 11 Connects, a warehouse catches fire and catches the attention of people all over Johnson City.
And once you see this video here in just a second, you'll see why so many onlookers and businesses were very concerned.
I've seen forest fires in Florida, but nothing like this.
Rex Atkinson owns East Tennessee Transmissions, just a road away from the burning building. Firefighters told people in a nearby gas station and a private home to evacuate too. Firefighters arrived in time to keep all the other buildings from catching fire. But that didn't keep onlookers from worrying.
Neighbors I talked to who live in this area near the VA and West Main Street say they see homeless people coming and going inside and out of this building. That part of it is still under investigation. Casey?
Thank you very much, Cameron Crafts, reporting from Johnson City.
2 parents accused of child neglect remain inside the Carter County Jail tonight. But their newborn child should now be able to get milk from his mother. In addition to neglect, police charge both with resisting arrest and the mother with assaulting an officer. Police also called in Child Protective Services. The Walkers' 3 children, all under the age of 3, are now in the care of their neighbor, and that includes an 8-week-old baby boy who up until this point could not get breast milk from his mother.
11 Connects' Nate Morabito just returned from Roan Mountain. Nate, what can you tell us?
Melissa, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation tells us officers are looking into the deaths of 2 people found in a burned or partially burned garage. The TBI is calling those people homicide victims. We're told a male and female were found shot to death inside a metal garage where they had been staying on the property. After their murders, TBI says someone set the building on fire. Bomb and arson investigators are now helping with the case.
Sullivan County Sheriff's Office says it's received numerous calls to the campsites of the Rainbow Family of Living Light Gathering of the Tribes. The group is meeting in the Cherokee National Forest near South Holston Dam. Today, the Sheriff's Office told us it has issued 203 warning notices, 117 violations, and made 9 arrests, including 2 assaults. The Sheriff's Office is aiding the National Forest Service during the gathering, which is expected to draw 15,000 people to the area. An ETSU basketball player accused of being caught in a lie and charged with filing a false police report after 2 of his teammates were robbed on campus earlier this year. Said Cooley lied when he told them the burglars who bound and gagged his 2 teammates back in February also stole $1,300 in cash from him. Cooley wasn't home at the time of the reported burglary, but his roommate J.C. Ward and other teammate Adam Salazzo were. Jesse also told us Judge James Nidifer placed Cooley on judicial diversion. Sport police charged 28-year-old Stephen Dudley Brock with child rape after witnesses say he molested 4 children in a motel swimming pool. Parents complained that Brock had inappropriately touched 3 girls and a boy. 2 of the girls were taken to the hospital to be checked out. Brock told police he was confronted and beaten by several men, but refused to identify them. Police charged Brock with 2 counts of child rape and public intoxication.
Nearly month-long National Rainbow Family Gathering at the Cherokee National Forest expected to wrap up tomorrow, and some of the 6,500 gatherers who attended are leaving with a little bit of legal trouble. Well, tonight we learned officers have also issued 11 citations for public nudity at the gathering. And there's a subculture within this rainbow gathering of people who prefer to be nude while in the woods. The Bristol Herald-Courier snapped this picture July 4th, and in it more than a dozen people aren't wearing any clothes.
Channing Churchill from California says this is the most dressed she's been in a while. The only reason she's wearing clothes today, she wants to dance on the main road and says she would have gotten a ticket had she been naked. Officers have seen their fair share.
In Greene County, early voting has been brisk as residents are deciding whether to approve a wheel tax increase and whether to keep their long-standing state representative. David Hawk is a Republican who's represented the 5th District since 2002. But Hawk has been dealing with more than just a re-election campaign. He is preparing to defend himself in court after being accused of domestic assault earlier this year, a charge to which he pleaded not guilty. Today I spoke with Representative Hawk about that and his campaign for re-election.
I wouldn't wish the last 4 months on anyone.
Mary Shane Morgan's case is headed to a federal grand jury. And we were there Tuesday as police arrested Morgan at the Fox Motel in Johnson City. He's charged with Monday's armed robbery of the Greenville Federal Bank on East Andrew Johnson Highway. The FBI says the man made off with more than $28,000 in cash.
I'm Nate Morabito, live in the Dry Creek community, among the hardest hit in the area. I'll have a live report coming up.
Hey, we've learned the governor has declared Tennessee in a state of emergency. People driven from their homes by the floods, hoping now that translates into some financial help as they dry out. 11 Connect's Nate Morabito begins our team coverage tonight live from the Dry Creek community.
Somewhere between 50 and 80 people do not have a place to live tonight, and most of those people, he says, do not have insurance, which is certainly a concern. State Representative Matthew Hill, noticing that, contacted the governor's office earlier today. He told me to formally request some disaster relief for this area. That would allow the money to come here and assist the people who are in need. Doug Wilson is one of the many who need that help. He was inside his home last night when the floodwater lifted it from its foundation and carried it 50 yards away into the road.
Late Friday night, Virginia police say the helicopter took off from a Washington County, Virginia residence. Shortly after takeoff, the helicopter, a Bell 407, crashed into the lake. Officials later confirmed that the aircraft is owned by Cavat Food Stores, the owners of Food City. A spokesperson told 11 Connects the pilot was picking people up from Bristol Motor Speedway after Friday night's race and dropping them off at the residence on the lake. Officials say the pilot was the only person on board at the time of the crash.
Track owner Bruton Smith said it was time for a change. He had crews mill down the concrete banks. That happened after a survey of fans in which many said progressive banking, as it was called, introduced in 2007 to improve safety, robbed the track of its exciting edge.
And who will be on the pole of the world's fastest half-mile oval was decided this afternoon for that nationwide race. Not good news for Danica Patrick as she gets loose in the GoDaddy.com Chevy, and luckily she keeps it out of the wall. She would start 34th.
You can see multiple ambulances. If you're just flipping through and joining us here on 11 Connects, we are in breaking news coverage of a school bus crash in Washington County, Tennessee that happened around 3 o'clock this afternoon, about an hour and 20 minutes ago. The Tennessee Highway Patrol said the tires dropped off the right side of the road and the bus overturned multiple times. That bus 88, had 67 students on it, and now the Tennessee Highway Patrol confirms that 22 of them were taken to hospitals not only in Johnson City, the Johnson City Medical Center, Franklin Woods Community Hospital, but also to the trauma unit at Holston Valley Medical Center.
Helicopters have been coming in. 3 to 4 different helicopters have been dropping off critically injured students, and ambulances have been streaming in, as well as parents.
This was the scene earlier today at the emergency medical department at the Johnson City Medical Center. Multiple helicopters flying in patients. Wellmont 1, one of the helicopters, Wings Air Rescue as well, transporting patients. 11 Connect's Nate Morabito is in the Conklin community. He is at a church near the crash scene, and from what we could tell, Nate, you've not been able to get, or any reporters haven't been able to get close in, and again, we're very happy to give emergency management their space.
From what Cameron was told from some family members nearby, for some students who were on that bus, and I'll let her tell you here in just a minute, they thought that bus was going way too fast for these country roads.
I talked to a couple parents who were told that it was actually going about 70 miles per hour.
Next thing I know, I hear the tire screech and we're starting flipping, and then I end up under a bunch of people.
Well, right now the big issue on the site is getting this school bus upright and taking a record to get it out of here. You are now looking at video of that school bus getting towed away. As I said, it is now at the county school bus garage. Tomorrow, investigators will take a closer look at that bus. An investigator on scene confirmed to our crew a meth lab was found. One nearby resident says she is shocked this happened in her neighborhood.
Elizabethton police told us that dump truck was turning left on Lynn Avenue from Broad Street this afternoon. At the same time, 2 children were walking in the crosswalk on Broad Street. Police said the older child made it across safely, but the dump truck driver did not see the other child and hit him. The 4-year-old boy was taken to Sycamore Shoals Hospital, where police said he was pronounced dead. Elizabethton police are still investigating. Investigators say Brenda Gray's reckless driving is what caused the September 20th school bus crash that injured 26 of her passengers. Prosecutors charged the 6-year Washington County employee with 39 felonies, one for every student who was on the bus that day.
On the way to that Mount Wesley Road bus stop, Clark says she took a curve too fast, overcorrected, and rolled the bus twice. One of the most seriously injured students is Cheyenne Bunton. She attended today's announcement along with her parents. Prosecutors say they're not alleging the bus driver acted intentionally. Still, they say she should be punished. And Josh, listen to this. If convicted of just one of the most serious charges, she could face anywhere from 2 to 12 years in prison. Specialist Jason Edens was set to return home from Afghanistan in no time. His wife never expected him to come home like this.
His platoon, there was like maybe 15 of them. Every single one of them wrote me a letter listing their favorite things about him.
She's since moved back to the city where she and Jason fell in love and recently made a big life decision.
Does it scare me? No, I'm more excited.
Something she thinks would make her husband proud. This week, the bubbly 23-year-old started a new career.
I smiled the whole way through. Everyone was serious, and I was just like this, like, I do honorably swear.
A job that links her past to her future.
I'm joining because I have pride for this country.
Thursday, she enlisted in the Army.
I'm so glad to have the Army to give me that future again.
A way to honor her fallen soldier.
Now Jason is sort of my brother in arms as well as my husband.
2 of those right here in our region as courthouses in Greene and Carter counties were searched today. In all, the threats targeted 29 courthouses, 9 in West Tennessee, 6 in Middle Tennessee, but the majority of the threats were received here in East Tennessee.
So take a look at some of the scene video from earlier this afternoon in Carter County. That phone call came into the Carter County Courthouse a little before noon today. The building and businesses nearby were all evacuated by the Elizabethton Police Department.
When Kiara grows up, oh, what a story she'll have to tell. She's resting quietly in the hospital now, but she wasn't born here.
My water broke, and I was like, oh, God.
On the way from Elizabethton to Johnson City,
He was on the phone. I was cussing him.
the father-to-be had no choice but to call 911.
And the next thing I know, she hollered, oh, God, its head's coming out, its head's coming out. And that was a wrap for me.
These cars won't get out of my way. I don't know what to do. So don't kill my baby.
Listen to me.
I was glad that I could help him.
Dispatcher Bobby Pope answered his call.
I was nervous,
But she didn't let the dad in on that secret. At 23, she's never given birth, but she has now delivered a baby. She has her training to thank for that.
Desmond, listen to me. We need to get the baby out of her. Pull the vehicle over.
She calmly convinced the dad to pull over. By then, the baby was out.
Oh, my God. I'm so terrified.
That's all right, Desmond. You're doing a really good job.
This all went down just a mile from the hospital. The dispatcher thought it'd be safer to actually deliver this baby in the car than have the father rushing down the road.
The News Channel 11's Chris McIntosh shows us 8-year-old Joshua Adcock may be getting more Christmas cards than anyone in the Tri-Cities this year.
So what we're going to do today, and you all have been working on your addition.
Vanessa Honeycutt's second graders at Sulphur Springs Middle School are missing one of their classmates. Joshua Adcock is currently in Nashville at Vanderbilt, undergoing treatment for a rare form of dwarfism. But he's never far from his classmates' thoughts.
They've been so sweet. They pray for him. They are always asking about him. They make cards for him all the time. This is a card for Joshua.
Honeycutt and her second graders have now decided to ask folks from around the region to help make this Christmas extra special for Joshua and his family by putting $1 in a Christmas card and sending a message of holiday wishes and encouragement for Joshua.
It's a joy that we can make all these cards and have all this money for him to buy some medicine to where he can get out to the hospital and come to school, because I know that he misses us too.
960, not counting the ones I just brought.
And the people at Nicewanger Children's Hospital and Mountain States Health Alliance know Joshua, and they're pitching in to collect cards for their former patient.
And I knew there were lots of people here that loved Josh and his family, so
mentioned it to several of the nurses, and it just spread like wildfire. Everybody wanted to help that family.
And even with all of the cards and well wishes, Joshua's classmates have one more message they want to pass along to him. In Washington County, Tennessee, Chris McIntosh, News Channel 11 in your corner.
Flood damage assessment across the Tri-Cities region. We have team coverage, plus your accurate Storm Team 11 forecast and sports headed your way now. I'm Josh Smith, and this is 11 Connects at 6.
Connecting you with the facts, the solutions, and your neighbors. This is 11 Connects News at 6 p.m.
I ain't rebuilding. I'm getting the heck away from here.
Summer storms quickly turned into a flooding nightmare. Many woke up today to see the devastation left after swift waters turned neighborhoods into disaster zones. Tonight, team coverage of the damage assessments. Good evening, I'm Josh Smith. Today, Governor Bill Haslam declared a state of emergency across Tennessee, and a formal request from Representative Matthew Hill is also into the governor's office to declare Washington County and Johnson City as disaster areas. One of the hardest hit areas, the Dry Creek community, and some of the scenes are just unimaginable. Torrential rain swept through some homes and literally lifted them from their foundations, prompting emergency crews to carry out evacuation. So team coverage tonight begins in the Dry Creek community, where 11 Connects' Nate Morabito has spent the day talking with those impacted. And Nate, this is even worse than many were first expecting earlier in the day today, right?
That's right, Josh. Washington County Mayor Dan Eldridge estimates somewhere between 50 and 80 people cannot return to their homes. Homes around here have water damage, they have mud damage, some even are washed away. Take a look at this mobile home out there in the distance, just beyond that house with a green roof. We're told at one point yesterday that home was more than 100 yards closer to us. It was washed down the street. The flooding was so significant you can actually find fish in some of what's left of the driveways around here. Team of crews have had a busy day. They're out assessing damage, trying to hopefully get some financial aid to the people around here, people who for the most part don't have insurance. Any help they can get, they will take.
This is the front porch.
Doug Wilson's foundation is all that's left of his home.
Yeah, that thing is sticking out down there. That's the back porch.
The 3-bedroom house is now half a football field away.
It must have rained about 6 inches ago, then the house started floating.
Floodwaters washed Wilson's home away. At the time, he sat in his living room, but it felt like he was on a boat.
Go down with the ship. They say, I didn't want to ride that sucker. I hope you got boots on, because you're going to wish you had.
Just a few doors down.
My trailer's in the next door neighbor's yard. Trailer you pull behind the truck, it's sitting over there.
Rushing waters sent Jimmy Burris's belongings down the road and damaged his home.
My sister's cat's still in here. I got to feed it before I leave.
Inside and out.
I ain't rebuilding. I'm getting the heck away from here.
Amazingly, no Dry Creek homeowners reported any injuries, but there were casualties.
We got to bury the dead ones and take care of the live ones.
Bill Chapman owns WW Miniature Horse Farm. He watched as neighbors carried away a third of his animals.
We had 36 yesterday. We lost about 12.
They drowned in the floodwaters.
It's killing me. Yeah, it's killing us all.
Could be worse.
Doug Wilson can only sit on his property in disbelief. Thankful the floods didn't kill him.
Thank God it didn't get no worse than what it had.
Another note to pass along, the American Red Cross is keeping its emergency shelter at Lamar Elementary School open for a second night. We're told a couple of people used it last night. For those who want to stay close to their home or maybe at a neighbor's or a family member's house, the Red Cross is going door to door, serving up meals, providing water. We've also learned the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief Organization is bringing in showers and laundry machines beginning at 8 o'clock tomorrow for people who need to use them. Josh?
Absolutely heartbreaking what's happening tonight in the Dry Creek community. 11 Connects' Nate Morabito reporting live today, leading off our team coverage in Washington County. Nate, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Floodwaters ripped up the roads in other parts of the county. Look at this. It shifted Methodist Camp Road more than 15 feet. This road leads to the Holston Conference's Buffalo Mountain Camp and Retreat, where camp staff tonight say the damage is devastating, even saying that state officials have marked the camp a 100% loss. Although the camp cleanup efforts are just in the beginning stages, staff tell us they are determined to restore the camp that's been in operation for more than 60 years. Flooding also impacted other parts of Washington County, Tennessee. Viewer photos of the high waters impacted poured into our inboxes. Take a look at Lions Park ball field, a pond. You can see the floodwaters so high at one point they nearly reached the top of the wire fence. And it was not children boarding buses, but high waters that took over the Johnson City Bus Parking Center. Michael Miller snapped this picture, and in the distance you could see 4 school buses with water up over their hoods. Many of those Johnson City school buses were moved to the parking lot of Freedom Hall to get them out of the floodwater. Others are parked in the Johnson City Public Works parking lot. Johnson City schools were scheduled to kick off the new school year today, but those classes were canceled because of the ongoing damage assessment of the buses. Students will not be in class tomorrow either.
They'll be taking them out for some test runs on the streets around the city to make sure that they will continue to run once they get them started.
Science Hill High School and Fairmount Elementary both suffered some minor water damage last night. Also in Johnson City, as many as 5 public transit vans may eventually be considered total losses from the flood damage after the final assessments are done. The cleanup efforts in Unicoi County daunting. In Carter County, damage to roads as well as flooded basements, while Unicoi County is dealing with more intense damage on Pippin Hollow and Harris Hollow roads. So we continue our team coverage now with 11 Connect's Chris McIntosh, who shows us how homeowners and county road crews are working right now to restore some hard-hit areas. Chris?
But this was definitely one of the harder rains we've seen in the last 5 years.
And that hard rain in Carter County could have been worse.
Had we gotten a few more inches, we definitely would have been looking at swift water rescues, evacuations of areas of the county.
And in Unicoi County, repairing McInturf Springs Road is a top priority.
As off to my right, left here, we have a road we're trying to open up. We still have people in there that we've not made we made contact with them on foot. Some of the sheriff's department went through the mountains last night and got to them.
And on Harris Hollow Road, Vivian Fry returned from vacation last night to find out she would have to walk to her home. This is the 4th time in 40 years floodwaters have closed the road.
It was gone. Everything's gone. Big logs in the road, boulders. So I was trying to get in to get my dogs out.
And just down the road, Brenda Nelson is taking stock of the damage inflicted on her home after the floodwaters almost washed it down the mountainside.
Just thank God it started receding before it washed it all the way down the creek.
Unicoi Road Superintendent Terry Haynes says that at least 3 roads in Unicoi County were almost destroyed, and that could cost the county nearly $300,000 to $400,000 to repair. And if we get more heavy rain, the work they've already done could be washed away. Josh.
Chris McIntosh with us tonight, helping with our team coverage. Chris, thank you very much. Some area businesses like American Water Heater in Johnson City cleaning up after several inches of rushing rain damaged the building yesterday. Nearly 150 contractors and employees spent this day cleaning up and assessing damage. The plant hopes to be back in operation by the end of the week. More stories, more pictures of those impacted by the storms on our website, WJHL.com. Type in the keyword storm. More rain possible tonight, thus the flood watch for Northeast Tennessee. Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds continues our team coverage with our potential for more rain tonight. Mark?
Josh, we are seeing that flood watch in effect until 8 o'clock for Northeast Tennessee. You can see that graphically here. Although most of the floodwaters receding now, which is good news, still holding on to a slight chance of these scattered showers and possible thunderstorms. Here's a look at Storm Team Live Viper 11. And right now it appears most of the rain is in western North Carolina, although we are finding showers now firing up once again over Lee County, Wise County, possibly Scott County, Russell County, and Dickinson County. We're going to see those scattered showers, and that's what we're looking at again through your day tomorrow. More rain, unfortunately, as a front is stalled across the region. We'll have a look at some of the rainfall tallies coming up, Josh.
Mark, thank you very much. We appreciate the update. We'll see you soon. While some are dealing with problems caused by excessive water, others in our region are without it tonight. The Hampton Water District told 11 Connects News maintenance work caused what they called large water outage, but they hope to have things restored later on this evening. Still to come on 11 Connects, we'll explain why Bristol, Tennessee detectives need some help finding this man, Michael Irvin. But first, Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds rejoins us with a full check of the accurate Storm Team 11 forecast and more on our flood watch next.
11 Connect Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mark Reynolds holds the Certified Broadcast Meteorologist designation by the American Meteorological Society.
Still watching now flood watch area wide for northeast Tennessee, where we had the significant water yesterday. A lot of rain, on average 2 to 4 inches. We're still finding scattered showers out there right now. And as you look at that radar, the majority of the heavy rain today, western North Carolina, although we're seeing the showers firing up also into southwest Virginia right now. Here is that area of flood watch for northeast Tennessee until 8 o'clock this evening. However, the majority of the flooding is now receding, which is good news. We're still seeing some of the rivers like the Nola-Chucky. You have to keep an eye on that because that does flow from North Carolina to Tennessee, so we'll continue to monitor that very closely. And here's a better look at where we're seeing the showers. Southwest Virginia right now into Wise County, just coming into Clintwood. Not a lot of lightning with these, just heavy downpours still possible. That activity will continue to push off towards the east and the southeast, and we'll see these showers continue to fire up there. Western North Carolina in and around the Asheville area finding showers, a few embedded thunderstorms, and again, just light to moderate rain. Nothing like what we experienced yesterday at this time, which is good news, helping to dry out just a tad bit. Had some shower activity over Sullivan County, Washington County, parts of Greene County, and parts of southwest Virginia through much of the early part of the day. 78 degrees, top of the hour, a little bit of sunshine. Wind is calm. Our high temperature is 78, 69 degrees at low temperature this morning. Average high for this time of year, 85. And the airport now, 31/107 inch of rain so far for the day. Our monthly total at the airport, 1.35 inches. As I've been talking about the rainfall yesterday, downtown Johnson City here at our studio, 3.59 inches in about a 2-hour time span. The airport all day yesterday, just a trace of rainfall. So it shows you the incredible amounts of rain with some of these heavy downpours. And the thunderstorm complex right over Johnson City yesterday, up to about 50 to 55,000 feet. Here are some other rainfall tallies. Look at just outside of Mohawk, 2.5 inches. Unicoi, just outside of the center of Unicoi there, over 5.5 inches of rainfall. And Hampton, 2.44 inches. I want to thank the National Weather Service and that wonderful program called Coco Ross. We have a lot of people in our communities measuring rain each day. You can check that out online, Coco Ross. That's COCOHRAS.com. Great site if you want to be a weather watcher, record your rainfall. It's a national network. All you have to do is have the designated rain gauge for that, but that's how we see some of the rainfall tallies around the region. Trade, almost 2 inches, and Wise, 1 inch of rain plus. 84 right now in Knoxville, 95 in the Memphis area, 90 in Charlotte. Still watching the showers and storms across the region thanks to a front still lingering here. That front not going anywhere, and as a result, we're going to find more rain coming our way forward tomorrow as well. All right, check out the forecast for tonight. 40% rain chance, 66 the overnight low tomorrow, 84 the high. Scattered showers and storms once again, 50% rain chance. And here is a look at our 7-day forecast. We're still going to hold on to that chance of these scattered showers and storms each day. Highs holding in the 80s, overnight lows in the 60s. And we're watching the tropics carefully too, because Ernesto is down there right now, tracking possibly into the southern Gulf, but still a little uncertain. We're going to have to watch that track too as to where that goes with all that moisture. Hopefully not in our region.
Let's hope it goes to the Midwest where they have a historic drought.
That's right.
All right, Mark. Thank you very much. We'll see you again at the end of the show. Bristol, Tennessee investigators need help finding this man, why he's the focus of our Monday's Most Wanted. Next. We are focusing on cases out of Bristol, Tennessee in Monday's Most Wanted tonight. And joining me once more is Detective Brian Hess. He's with the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department, one of their lead detectives helping to solve these cases. You want to find Michael Daniel Irvin. Why?
Yes. Michael Irvin was involved in a crash in the early morning hours of May 23, 2012, resulting in injuries to both Irvin and his passenger. The vehicle that he was driving was reported to have been involved in a theft of alcohol early in the evening in Bristol, Virginia, and both Irvin and his passenger are suspected of being under the influence at the time of the accident.
So you're looking for him tonight. And for those who are watching maybe for the first time and wonder how this works, we're going to show some phone numbers. They can remain anonymous, right? You take anonymous tips.
That's exactly right.
All the time. And you basically need people to tell you what tonight about him, where he is, right?
Location will be great. Any tip that we can get to lead us closer to arresting him, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. I know oftentimes even where this person frequents at a certain time of day, you know, or where you saw them last. Any information can be helpful.
And it'll be completely confidential. Nobody will ever know they called us.
All right. This is Detective Brian Hess. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to Bristol, Tennessee Police. Another look at Michael Irvin. If you have any information that can help investigators find him, those numbers I mentioned, there they are on your screen. All you have to do is call the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department. at either of those numbers there's the email as well. Well, out on the range, the West Green Buffaloes continue to get ready for the upcoming football season. Kenny has a preview next in sports.
The high school football season is just 2 weeks away, and one of the teams to keep an eye on in Greene County is the West Green Buffaloes. Coach Joe Case's team had pitcher day today as they prepare for the upcoming season. The Buffaloes lost Watauga Orthopedics Player of the Year Dalton Bowles, but they do return 7 starters on offense and 7 on defense.
We still got a lot of experience from last year. We lost a lot as far as offensive linemen go and backs, but we have a couple of great linemen coming this year, and that's going to help us out, along with 2 really good football players at back.
West Green opens the season against Cherokee. The Tennessee Volunteers were in pads on Sunday for the first time as they continue to get ready for the upcoming season. While the offense has the potential to be explosive with Tyler Bray and his assortment of talented wide receivers, it's the running game that is still questionable. Last season, Tennessee's rushing total was last in the SEC, more than 30 yards behind Kentucky, its closest competition. Coach Derek Dooley brought in former Vol Jay Graham, who was at South Carolina, to coach the running backs, and so far so good.
The big thing that I wanted to emphasize to them, no matter how hard you train, no matter how good you are, no matter how experienced you are, what makes this sport special is you're going to get knocked on your tail. But overall, it was a good tempo. There was a lot of hitting. Offense really came out with something to prove to run the ball today, and they did a good job.
Only 1,081 rushing yards in a 12-game season, the third worst number dating back to 1950 for the Vols last year, ranking of 116th out of 120 football bowl subdivision teams. Driver introductions for the Sprint Cup races at Bristol Motor Speedway are unique in the sport, and for the upcoming Irwin Tools night race August 25th, there will be a new twist added. Well-known ring announcer Michael Buffer, that's right, the guy who says let's get ready to rumble, that's his catchphrase, is known worldwide. He takes part in driver introductions, adding his distinctive voice to each driver's entrance from a stage on turn 3 at the track. During a rain-shortened race at Pocono on Sunday, NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon captured his first victory of the season, but the win was overshadowed by the fact 9 people were struck by lightning. One is confirmed dead, another has been upgraded from critical condition to stable. Gordon says he thinks he remembers when the strike took place.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly which one it was. I mean, we were walking down pit road, the wind was blowing sideways. I mean, the umbrellas weren't doing any good, the water was puddling up, and there was a huge crack, from lightning, and you could tell it was very close. And I mean that's the thing that's going to take away from the victory a little bit is the fact that somebody was affected by that.
Officials say lightning struck near Gate 3 and in the parking lot behind the grandstands. U.S. sprinter and former Tennessee Volunteer Justin Gatlin brought home the bronze Sunday. The 100-meter runner had a long road to the 2012 London Olympics. After winning gold in the 100 at the 2004 Olympics in Athens, Gatlin served a 4-year ban for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Gatlin has been criticized over the years for refusing to admit his guilt. Today, he said the controversy is in the past.
Innocent or guilty, I've served 4 years, almost half a decade of my life has been gone. And for me to come back, no one's ever done that before. And I put a lot of effort and a lot of sacrifice to come back out here. And I think it was brave of myself just to step on this track and just show the world that I have a lot of heart to compete.
Gatlin set a personal best Sunday at 9.79 seconds.
Thank you, Kenny, and we'll be back with Mark Reynolds more on our flood watch right after the break. We do not want any more rain in those areas that were hit by the flooding tonight.
That's right. We still have that flood watch, though, at least until 8 o'clock for Northeast Tennessee. You're seeing that right here. I do want to point out, though, as you look at Storm Team Live Viper, it looks like the majority of the shower and thunderstorm activity off over the Carolinas and all the way down into Georgia and North Florida. That's good news for us. However, we're still seeing some scattered showers firing up over southwest Virginia. And unfortunately, because the front is laying across our region, you can't rule out more showers overnight tonight and again tomorrow. About a 40 to 50% rain chance.
And again, you're looking at a forecast that has a rain chance in it for the next several days.
Yeah, a chance of showers each day because we're in what we term as a trough of low pressure.
Yeah.
And that just keeps things unsettled for us. It keeps that chance of rain each and every day through Friday.
Reminder last night that we got to be on alert for it, don't we? And so that's certainly what we're going to do. And this man was a big part of why you were on alert, as well as Nathan Scott last night. We're going to continue with Mark's help to monitor the threat for more flooding in 30 minutes on the 7. Mark and Kenny and I'll be back here with you tonight at 11 o'clock. Have a great evening. We'll see you soon.